This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. Hi, I'm Mark Alyn, and along with the insane Daryl Wayne, we're going to spend the next 2 hours talking about a wide variety of health topics that literally reach out and embrace each and every one of us, from anxiety to talking about quantum touch. We're going to touch base on a variety of issues that affect each and every one of us today. We'll be wrapping up our show today, as we do, with Robert Clancy. We're going to be talking about walking the walk with Robert today. We'll be talking about mitochondria. Those are the batteries of our bodies and how to recharge them after the age of 30. And we're going to spend some time talking about the flu vaccine. Actually, Daryl and I and our friend Josh Lane, a health educator and radio host, talked about vaccines a few weeks ago, and none of us like the idea of them, and we don't take them. But I like CVS. I like CVS for a number of reasons. When we talk to Josh in about 30 minutes, not Josh, Jeremy. Josh, you're Josh. When we talk to Jeremy in a few minutes, about 30 minutes from now, we'll get into why I like CVS. All right, we're going to go to Montreal, Canada, home of smoked meat, and lots of good things, including the message is the medium is the massage, or the message. Marshall McLuhan. We talk with Georgia Dow, the co-creator of anxietyvideos.com. Georgia, welcome to Late Night Health.
Thank you for having me.
You are a psychotherapist with the Montreal Center for Anxiety and Depression. And as we head into the holiday season, as the temperatures drop outside, family temperatures seem to rise inside, and anxiety seems to rise. Can we prepare ourselves for that anxiety so that it's less than it normally would be?
Yeah, we definitely can. The winter seasons are definitely more difficult on our body, just by the fact that in many parts of the world during this time we're getting less sunlight during the day. And that has a great effect on our circadian clock, on our body's rhythms, our amount of histamine in our body. And so all of these things regulate how we feel. So already starting out, even if we take all of the family, relations, holidays, things out of it, we're already dealing with, often we go through a feeling of a little bit more anxiety and a little bit of the seasonal blues. Now, we throw into the mix family and expectations and getting together and trying to get all your work done for the holidays. Now we've created a little bit of a powder cake, and this can become overwhelming for some people during this time of year. And I see a lot of people suddenly coming back into my office because all of the old issues have come back up, and now they're having to try to remanage and redeal with them.
Let's talk about location. Your day gets darker earlier. You're in Montreal. We're in Southern California.
Yes.
Your day is longer. Your night is longer than than ours.
Yes. Yes.
Does that affect people too, the location of where they are?
It's the amount of sunlight that you see through the day definitely does affect it. So we're going through a period here where we've realized through scientific studies it's not really the cold. So it's really cold where I live, but it's more the amount of daylight that you are seeing. And so for people that live where we are, when we travel further from the equator, you are a little bit colder and it's a little bit of a shorter day. And mostly that feeling, it brings off that feeling of mild hibernation, where you're less motivated, you want to store more food or not eating anything at all, and sleep more and not really go out and do things.
And curl up with a good book.
A good book, some bonbons, something good on TV. Yeah, you want to just kind of relax and play it easy. And a long time ago, that was very beneficial for us. During the winter months, the times when the days were shorter, food was also more scarce. And so it made a lot of sense for us to go through this feeling of demotivation during the shorter daytime.
So we're kind of like big squirrels.
Yes, without the fabulous tails.
Yes, exactly. Well, some of us may.
Yes.
What I'm curious about is that, dermatologists say stay out of the sun, put on sunscreen. Does that have anything to do with it, or is it just seeing the light?
Well, mostly it goes through our photoreceptors in our eyes. So there is something that happens with the photoreceptors in our eyes when we see daylight and full spectrum light. And so you can still go outside and wear sunscreen and you'll still be able to deal with this. This is not only a thing that deals with vitamin D. This is also the way that a lot of our neurotransmitters and hormones get regulated as well. So what I often say to people, even if it's cold, bundle up, spend a little bit of time outside. And if you're in an area where it's exceptionally cold or you don't feel like going outside, we have found people have been benefited from a full spectrum light. And it looks like a regular light bulb. You put it somewhere where you're going to be hanging out, and that can help if you deal with it seasonally, a feeling of just demotivation and the lower mood level. This can help you kick back into gear. And they say about 40 minutes. So anytime that you're doing work, leave it in that place, and then you're good to go for the rest of the day.
It's like a suntanning light.
It's similar to that. This is not a UV main spectrum light. It's going to be the same type of light spectrum you're going to get from the sun. So yes, you're going to get a little bit of UV light as well, but if you want to wear some sunscreen, which is good for everyone to do, you can. But this is only for 40 minutes, and it's not directly focused upon you. So it can be even hitting against a wall, so you're not getting it directly.
So you put it in a lamp or an overhead light?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, or a light box if some people have that.
A light box.
Yes.
What is that?
It's similar to a light with a light shade on it, except it filters the light that comes towards you so that it's diffused.
Interesting. Our guest is Georgia Dow. She's the co-creator of anxietyvideos.com, and that's anxiety videos.com. We're going to have a whole story about this on our website at latenighthealth.com, latenighthealth.com. And we will also have her pretty picture and a link to the website, so it'll make it real easy for you. At this time of year, in particular, anxiety issues do go way up. Will your videos help? And will this light help? Will being outside, just going for a walk and looking at the light, all of these help reduce holiday anxiety?
Yes, definitely they will. Like, the reason that we created the video series is that a lot of people, if you know how to, anxiety is fully manageable. You can really deal with getting help. Anxiety with treatment gets better, period. And unfortunately, without treatment, anxiety often gets worse. And at certain periods of time, it can get much worse, especially during the holiday period. So what we do through the video series is that we go through all of the psychoeducation of what is anxiety, why is it happening to you, what can you do about it, how does your own thought process affect the way that you see the world. Because if you see the world as horrible and a threat and scary, of course...
Only on Election Day in the U.S.
Oh, that's true. That
right?
is true.
We're recording this on Election Day.
Right. So perhaps anxiety is really high as, we can often maximize and catastrophize situations. And that can be really frightening for us. And us as defenseless mammals, our ability to go into fight or flight was really, really effective to keep us alive. Unfortunately now, we still have this old primal system of fight or flight, and most of our situations in our world is exceptionally safe.
You're a psychologist, so you do not prescribe drugs, but you may be working with an MD who does?
Yes.
Do you try not to prescribe drugs or work with drugs?
I'm pretty neutral towards them. It depends on the person. I think that it's better if you can manage it without taking a medication, then that's the way that you should go about it. If, though, you feel like you're drowning, if your levels of have stopped you from fully being able to function, just like if you had a migraine headache or if you were going into surgery, there's a medication that can help you then, and you're not able to do it on your own, then great, go through it that way as well. Our medications are much better than they used to be. They often get a bad rap, and there's some medications, of course, that are better than others. And it's hard to figure that out because we're dealing with drug companies and agencies and things that are also out for themselves. So that is a little bit difficult.
In Canada, do you have the same kind of prescription advertising that we do in the U.S., you can have what we have is you have this problem, urinary tract dysfunction,
Right.
and you won't have the urgency to pee anymore. Yet here's a bunch of side effects, including you might not remember where you are.
Right.
Things like that.
Right. Exactly. We get a lot of our news we get from the States because we're such close nations to each other. So we watch mostly the American drug company advertisements that are there, and we see them through U.S. programming. So we still go through that, yes.
I, of course, think of Canada as the 51st state, which I know doesn't make you guys happy. We're going to be taking time out in just a few moments, and when we come back, we're going to continue this. We're going to find out some tips on how we can keep our fear and anxiety in check so that we can function during the holiday season that is literally around the corner. I can't believe that, Thanksgiving is 2 weeks away here in the U.S. Canadian Thanksgiving is at a different time. I'm Mark Alyn, and I invite you to join us at latenighthealth.com. You will see my picture. You'll see George's picture. You might even get lucky and see Daryl's picture.
Ooh, Halloweenish.
Well, no, that was last month, Daryl. Georgia and Daryl and I return as Late Night Health moves forward.
If you or someone you love suffers from drug addiction, now is the time to utilize your private health insurance PPO plan. If eligible, receive up to $30,000 or more in substance abuse benefits with low or no out-of-pocket cost. We are the National Treatment Network, the premier drug and alcohol treatment referral service operating 24/7. We help connect you with facilities nationwide that accepts PPO private health insurance for substance abuse. If you have PPO substance abuse coverage and you need immediate admittance to a medical detox or residential rehab treatment center, call us now. Call our live referral helpline today. The call is free. This program is not available to Medicare or Medicaid customers.
Call 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. That's 800-296-1252.
Are you being audited and do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Is the IRS threatening to take more of your money? Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate a lower tax bill. The IRS can freeze your assets and seize your bank accounts, but you can stop these IRS actions. The Tax Doctor will fight for you using industry secrets that can stop any IRS actions, eliminate penalties and interest, and reduce your past tax bill so you pay the IRS less. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the Tax Doctor now for a free IRS audit emergency review.
800-663-5107. 800-663-5107. 800-663-5107. That's 800-663-5107.